Right, shotting, and definitely this is a key area for me that I see a lot of issues that people have with it, in that they have the floats shotted in the incorrect way for how they're feeding and just the presentation that they're trying to achieve. And for me, it's about keeping things really, really, really simple and just not messing about. I literally have 3 different shotting patterns for when fishing on the bottom that cover nigh on all of my commercial work. I mean, it's not worth getting things confusing by all sorts of fancy shotting patterns. So what I want to run through is the 3 types of shotting that I have. And again, it's about keeping things really simple. So what I've got, firstly, is my stability shotting. I mean, that's normally, I've just whizzed these up quick for demonstrative purposes, but my stability shotting's normally used with a wire stem float, which adds to that stability. And I use this heavy form of shotting when I'm fishing in depths over 2.5 foot and I'm trying to create a tight pile of bait, be it a few hard pellets, a lump of mica, whatever, on the bottom, a very accurate area on the bottom. And what this does in turn, this form of shotting, which in this case, it's literally a 5-inch hook length, and they have number 8 spread at 2-inch differences, or 2-inch differences apart, in the bottom third of my rig. So it's quite a heavy rig. It keeps my bait right where I want it, nice and still, with a lot of shot down the bottom that shows bites up brilliantly. But it's all about that stability with this rig for me. It's for sort of making the most of my peg when there's not a lot of fish feeding. It makes sure that every fish that comes into my peg, I've got a chance of catching it because my bait's where it needs to be. So secondly, let's see what we pick up. We're picking up a long one. It's my spread out rig. Yeah, this is really starting to come into it. As soon as it gets warmer, as soon as March onwards, right the way through to sort of November, when the fish are intercepting loose feed and I'm likely to loose feed with a catty, then this is the rig for me. This is what I catch a lot of fish with all throughout the summer. And it's simply a case of, in this case, I've got a 412 float set at about 5 foot, and I've got number 10 spread through my entire rig. Yeah, it's not a rig that I'm going to catch a massive amount of fish on the bottom with, just because the amount of time, or say that's not right, it's not an efficient rig for fishing on the bottom because it doesn't go down quick enough, but it's a rig that gives me the percentage of catching fish through the water. I mean, I might catch 20%, I might catch 15% of my fish through the water because I'm loose feeding. Yeah, as soon as I start pinging some bait and I've got that bait going through, my accuracy isn't quite as important, then this is the rig for me. I mean, it catches me a lot of fish when I'm fishing for hide, F1s, even carp in many situations, just those few fish, because it gives me that versatility of the rig going through and gives the fish more option, more chance to nail that bait as it goes down. So lastly, again, another rig for fishing on the deck, and this has been my margin rig. Yeah, I've played about with a few different margin rigs over the years, and so I've talked about it in the past that you do need certain different types of rigs for different situations depending on your edge. But for me, the vast majority of the time when I want to fish up against something, I want a really simple rig of a heavy float. I mean, it's not the right float in this case for what I'm trying to show you. It's just for the shotting. Just simply a small hook length, a 3, maybe even a 2, 3 or 4 inch hook length with a bulk right on top of it. Because it's all about keeping your bait. When you're putting that pile down the edge, so I've spoke about it a lot in the water movements that occurs when fish come into such a small volume of water. It's very hard to keep your bait still in place over that pile that you put in without having a bulk very, very close to the hook. So for down the edge, 9 times out of 10, this is the style of rig I'm going to use with that sort of shotting that just keeps my float where I want it to be. I mean, I don't want a nice airy fairy rig when I'm fishing down the edge, wafting all over the place, foul looking fish, so it's not going to be efficient. So in that case, nice bulk right on top of it, keeps my bait where I want it, and hopefully gets me a fish very, very quickly.